Thank you for joining us on Business Talks. I am Lana Smith, your host. Some of you will know the pain and the heartache and the challenges of dealing with a child who has been diagnosed with cancer. Well, nobody knows this better than Leslie Woodfill. She is the executive director for Acorn, which is the American Childhood Cancer Organization of the Inland Northwest. And she's here to share with us about this amazing nonprofit that works with these families who are dealing with these diagnoses with their children. As the parent of a child who was diagnosed with cancer when she's 17, I am so deeply grateful for organizations like Acorn for wrapping their arms around us and taking care of us during a very, very challenging time. So Leslie, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Thank you. There's snow outside.
There is.
But I'm going to say, Leslie just came back from a adventure in Alaska at minus 35 degrees.
Yeah, it was fabulous. It was really fabulous.
She's a hero here. That must have been an incredible experience.
It was. The things that you see and the experiences that you have, you're just like, that's a lifetime. Yeah.
And I asked her if she had family there, if there was a reason for her to go there. And she said, no, it was just an adventure. I went, that's quite an adventure.
It was an adventure.
It was. Well, that's great. You can check it off your bucket list. And
Indeed.
it sounds like you saw amazing things there.
Yes, and now you move on to another adventure.
That's right. And so you are in, not a new, but you've been at Acorn almost a year. Is that correct?
I started in March.
Oh,
Yes.
in March. Right when with the COVID outbreak.
You know, sort of on the outskirts of it, because our past executive director really was in it, you know, when big changes needed to be made and stuff. And so I came in with like, let's revamp and let's move forward and let's really encourage growth in this organization and what we can do for our families.
Well, it's an incredible calling. You're not a stranger to callings. You have been involved with volunteerism, sounds like most of your life. Sounds like your purpose and calling is to serve your community.
It is. I love to volunteer for things and organizations and just events that are happening in the community, because that's our role really as humans, is to make our community that much better for those who live in it. So
I couldn't agree more. And your first dive into the nonprofit sector was with MakeAWish.
it was, yes.
So tell me about that.
Well, when I started with Make-A-Wish as a volunteer, I got to be what they called a wish granter. And so that's where you go and you ask the kid what they want, and, you know, and then you bring it back and tell the person who coordinates that wish what they want, and you help make it come true. So that was really exciting. And I did that for a while. And then they decided to bring on a person as a position.
A paid position.
Yeah, because they didn't have it. And they called and they said, you know what's going on. Would you like to do this? And I'm like,
It didn't take long.
yeah, not at all. And so I was there for about 16 years and became wish manager and then a regional co-director. So,
Okay.
yeah.
And then you moved on from Make-A-Wish to the Alzheimer's Association.
I did. I was volunteering for the Alzheimer's Association because my mom had what was called dementia with Lewy bodies. And the Alzheimer's Association was putting together these fabulous support groups that our family was able to take advantage of. And to me, it was like, I need to do what I can to give back to this association so that other families can have the same experience of support. When my mom was in hospice, actually, I sat there and I thought, if I could just do something to raise $1 million to help find a cure for this disease, it would be fabulous. And then the Alzheimer's Association said, how'd you like to be a walk manager? And I'm like, what does that mean? You know, and so I had 6 walks and breakfasts that I planned and things like that. And when I left the Alzheimer's Association, I had raised $1.6 million.
So you bypassed even your big goal of $1 million.
Right, yeah. And it really gave me a sense like, I did what I set out to do, honoring the people who have this disease and being able now to move forward with my energies, and coming back to the kids, because I love kids, and they don't deserve cancer. And they deserve joy, and they deserve hope, and they deserve people supporting them and bringing them smiles and Cheetos and,
Cheetos always bring smiles.
Cheetos, right?
Who
Yeah.
doesn't love Cheetos?
Right.
So when you came on in March of 2021.
Right.
So during the pandemic, and you had said the previous executive director had really set things up for Acorn going through the pandemic. So
Right.
how was that transition when you came into Acorn?
Well, it was interesting, because you've got somebody who's worked this organization for 6 years and heart and soul, right? And then you're coming in and you're like, I want to keep that same energy. I want to keep that same love so that the people in the community, the people who are receiving our services know that they can still depend on us. It's not because there's a leadership change that, there's going to be a loss of service.
Yes.
And so coming into it, it was like, so we've got this. Now what else can we do? How can we keep moving forward and letting these families know that even though the pandemic has changed some things, we can bring in others. So
Absolutely. So creative thinking outside the box.
right, and that's exciting. That's an adventure,
It's
right?
it is an adventure, not a negative 35-degree adventure, but
no.
in the warmth of
Yeah.
of an office. That's good. So tell us about what it looked like for Acorn this last year with your children's, your clients. What did that look like? Did you see changes in how things were done because of the pandemic, or were things just as before?
Well, first of all, there's probably double the amount of kids who have been diagnosed with cancer this year over last year. And it's frightening,
Really?
Yeah, and I don't know why, and I don't have a feel of, it's one cancer more over another cancer, but we're seeing such an increase in the numbers of it. The other issue with that, with the pandemic, is that both parents can't be there. You can't bring in the siblings to be there. And so there's a lot of isolation for that parent who is in the hospital with their child. And so we're trying to be supportive that way, even if it's just going in and visiting with them and saying, what can we do? What would you like to talk about? Can I bring you a cup of coffee? Yeah. Would you like to go for a walk? I'll sit with your child, while these things are happening. And our support groups went online, which was, you go back and forth with that, but it brought more people into the support group than we'd ever had before. So you think, here's these families who wanted to be in these support groups, but couldn't because it's life, right? Schedule's too much. But they can come online to a Zoom meeting and have that same support group experience. And so that's a good thing that the pandemic has given us. We've got more people involved in the support groups and having their hearts have an opportunity to express their fears, and what are some resolutions that we can have with those fears.
Uh-oh. Okay. You're hitting my mama heartstrings. No. Anyways, so tell me what is exciting going on at Acorn right now. You've got some, like you said, you've been being creative and out of the box. What does that look like?
So what's really fun is being good stewards of our funds, right?
Yes.
Reaching out in the community and saying, hey, who in the community would like to help with administrative kinds of things, right? And people just pop up. I know how to do this. I know how to do this. And so we're getting these issues solved and these ideas implemented without having to pay for them, right? So that keeps going back to our program. And then we had our big fundraiser that we do in September as part of Childhood Cancer Awareness Month. And we've raised enough money that we can bring on a part-time person. And I'm super excited about that. We're in search of a person who will be there on weekends and holidays. And so it's a special person. People say, well, what if they don't want to work weekends and holidays? then they're not that person.
Yes, exactly.
So that's a quest that we're on right now, is to find that person. So that's an exciting thing. As families, you probably know, the weekends and the holidays are very quiet around the hospital. And we want somebody there 365 to say, what do you need? Can I help in some way? Is there a question about resources that you need? Is there, do you need diapers for your child right now? What do you need? And so that's exciting moving forward. We've had in the past our Christmas party, our big event, which is fabulous. It's got like 500 people that come to it and stuff. And it's a engagement of past families and new families, so that new families can see there's light on the other side.
Yes, very important.
Yep. And the past families can say, here, let me tell you some things that worked, and when you're going through something like that, you're learning, you're gleaning all this information, right? And so to be able to share that with somebody else to make their life easier, again, you've served your community, right? A very specific community, but you've served your community. So with COVID, we're being really cautious of our families. And we've got a great group of volunteers who have said, let's bring that online. What can we do? How can we make that look? And so our Christmas party that we're having this year, we've said to the community, we're going to do gingerbread houses. So all the families who want to participate are going to be delivered a gingerbread house to, decorate on, an online kind of a thing. And we're having some cookies. The cookies are coming from Sweet Frostings downtown.
Oh,
and
we love sweet frostings.
yeah, and
Sally is amazing.
providing icing, and stuff like that for the families to decorate these cookies and just have these beautiful experiences that were taken away oftentimes because you're in the hospital or whatever, but you're now having an opportunity to be with your family, be with your siblings as a child who has cancer, and just doing something fun. And everybody's doing it, not just you,
Great. It's so great. I know for my daughter, one of her first surgeries was during Christmas. So it was very challenging to be in the hospital during Christmas. Of course, we were pre-pandemic,
Right.
so we didn't. I can't imagine. I truly cannot imagine going through that during the pandemic. That isolation would be tremendous.
Being separated and not having, that's one thing, is the siblings oftentimes are the ones that are also suffering,
they
because
get put on the back burner.
they do. Yeah. And we just had a big toy drive for our adoptive families. We've got 71 families that we're adopting this year.
The needs are great.
Huge
Yes.
needs. And we had one group called Good Simple Living who adopted 40 of our families.
Wow.
I know, it was fabulous, right? And then they put together some sibling packs. So when we give a new family our comfort bag that has all the information about what to expect, how to go forward, all these kinds of things, we've also now are able to give the siblings something. So they come home with this beautiful bag of things, and the siblings are now getting these bags as well, So
That's fantastic.
it's really fantastic. And then the community as well, we've reached out to, and they've said, we've got 31 other people or businesses or individuals who have said, I want to make something happen for these families. I want to make a difference.
It's incredible. We have such a generous community in Spokane.
Yeah.
It's overwhelming.
It is.
Just like Gordon Hester, who is on from Kimley Haygood, and just those corporations who really take it serious about community and invest financially, because then that's the way that organizations like Acorn can make that difference.
That's right.
So, what do you see? I'm going to ask you for a mama who and a family who just got this diagnosis for a child. What do you have any advice for that family as they start this journey?
I think one of the things is breathe. Just take a deep breath. There's going to be 8 zillion people coming at you. And I had a mom just tell me this. So many people are coming at us with this information and this information, you know. And what's beautiful about Acoin is that we do have our program person in the hospital, Denise Moss, and she's fabulous. She's a mom who's been through it, right? So she can come in and with this calming presence just say, I understand. I truly understand. And here's some information that you're going to need. Here's some things you're going to want to keep in mind. You know, here's some ideas of things to ask your doctor. Here's a place to locate all those things because it's going to get scattered, you know. And so in a notebook that we give everybody, a big binder. But the biggest thing is just come in, take a deep breath, and let the people who want to nurture you nurture you. You don't have to do it all on your own, and that's hard. As a parent, you think, I have completely lost control of what's happening with my child, you know. But there's people who say, I know, and I'm sorry, you know. Sucks, right?
Yeah,
See, it makes me
does.
weepy. And but we're here, you know, and we'll hold your hand, we'll give you a hug, we'll do whatever you
don't.
need.
You're gonna-
So
Yeah, it is overwhelming, and you're exactly right. The amount of information that comes at you rapidly. It's not, people don't understand. You don't get that diagnosis and have time to process. I mean, it is the diagnosis and then bam, everything starts moving.
Right.
You know, whether it's surgery or treatment, both. Yeah, it is overwhelming. So to know that there's an organization like Acoin that is right there available for those families is imperative. If you've been blessed and have a healthy family, then kiss your children today, because yeah, nobody wishes that on anyone.
nobody.
But the good news is that we can support. And we're talking about your fundraiser that you had that provided. Do you have any other needs right now? You've got a staffing opening there for that part-time position.
Right.
What else can the community do to support Acoin?
You know, we've got some great opportunities where you can be a monthly donor to Acoin. You can do this new fabulous deal. It's called Roundup. You know, and you go on our website and you buy something for $18.50 and it rounds up to 19, and you would not believe how much money comes in at 50 cents a piece. You know,
Yes.
and you don't even miss it,
Yeah.
right? So there's those opportunities.
Don't forget Amazon. Amazon
Yeah.
Smile. So if you have not designated a charity on your we're all shop locally, let's say that. But if you have to get something online,
Right.
is make sure that for each purchase, it's easy, it's free to sign up on Amazon Smile, and Acoin is there. So a percentage of your purchases goes to that organization.
Charity of choice.
So make sure if you do not have a charity selected on your Amazon account, today is the day to go in and put Acoin on your Amazon account so that those funds, just like you said, 50 cents, 25 cents, $1, it adds up.
It really does add up.
Yeah.
And it's also with Amazon, we have a wish list on Amazon.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yeah.
How do people locate that?
You can actually just search American Childhood Cancer Organization, Inland Northwest, or Acoin, and it will bring up our wish list. And on there, it's got like the snacks that we like to provide the kids, the coffees, the creams, the toys, you know, all these different things that people can go on and buy something and have it sent to us, and it goes directly to the kids.
So what a great Christmas gift opportunity. We all are blessed with so much. I know we've all gone through the pandemic and it's been challenging, but we are a blessed community. We're a blessed nation. If you're looking for a gift for that person that has everything, why not consider a donation to Acoin this Christmas, in lieu of a maybe a gift, a pair of socks that might not get appreciated or utilized. But one of the things I think people, unless you're in it, you don't understand. The medical bills are substantial.
Right.
The emotional toll, the financial toll, and really the physical toll that it takes on a family. So you could bless a family this Christmas by giving to Acorn and giving that special gift that that you are blessing a family, and also your Amazon wish list.
Right.
Buy snacks, print out what you bought, put it in a Christmas card, and put it under the tree.
That's right.
And I guarantee that person that you supported Acorn for is going to appreciate that gift more than they would that pair of socks.
Right.
Right? You're doing something to benefit others.
And that's what the season's about, right? Is
Giving.
bringing love and joy and giving. So,
And people there's just people in need. So, if you think about that need with COVID and what that's happened, but put on top of that, getting a cancer diagnosis for your child. So we are a strong community and we support each other. So this year, would you consider a gift to Acorn? And we will have their information on the bottom of the screen so that they can go to your website.
Terrific.
And if you're interested in serving either as a volunteer or in this part-time position,
Right.
if you find you've got your weekends and holidays free and you want to bless somebody, get in touch with Leslie. You will never regret being a part of this organization. The reward, you can't put them on it. Yeah, there's no value. You can't even put a number on it.
Right.
The reward is so great.
Right.
Is there anything you want to share with the viewers before that I haven't touched on?
boy, you have run the gamut of joy there. I'll tell you.
Well, being a nonprofit person, it's,
Right.
you understand the impact.
Right. I can say honestly, volunteering for the organization is huge. There's
Okay.
always something we can find a place for you to help out if your heart is saying, I'd like to participate. There's a way to do that.
And I'm guessing on your website, there's a tab that is a volunteer tab that they
can
can
just-
just go right on and
Contact us and away we go and we'll get you started.
perfect. And if you're not an internet person and you're a phone person, the phone number, we will put the phone number on the bottom of the screen as well, just in case we still have some people who don't do internet and we don't want them to miss out on an opportunity.
No, and it's so amazing when somebody calls and says, I have a heart to serve. What can I do? And you're not interacting via, email or whatever. You're just getting a person to person and you're like, let me tell you, I got something for you. Funny, you should call.
Yes,
So,
exactly.
yeah.
Oh,
So,
that's fabulous.
It is.
Well, thank you. And I just want to say thank you for your heart. And I mean, with MakeAWish, with the Alzheimer's Association, and now with the American Childhood Cancer Organization of the Inland Northwest, you are making an impact.
well, thank you.
You're changing lives. So just to say from one mama to you, thank you. And we want to thank you for joining us today on Business Talks. I am your host, Lana Smith, and we'll see you next time.